Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of The 3 Count. I'm War Machine MJ.
With Rodimus Prime.
We're here today to talk about Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live before FastLane.
Yeah, FastLane is this Sunday on the WWE Network, and looking at the card,
I'll be right back.
it's just like, they have some decent matches, especially that pre-show match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas. I'm still calling him Andrade Cien Almas. I don't care what WWE says.
100%.
100%. But that kickoff match, though, is going to be lit.
Yeah.
But other than that, this card is just kind of,
But yeah, we'll talk about that on preview.
Mm-hmm.
For now, let's talk about Monday Night Raw because we start the show off with he's in remission.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was in Philadelphia, the same place where this guy, Roman Reigns, won the Royal Rumble some, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, where they booed him out, booed The Rock out, then like a year or two later when he beat up Triple H, Philadelphia lost their shit.
Yeah. But anyway.
They were very receptive to him this week.
Yeah, because he come out there, he said he wanted to address his brother Seth Rollins, 2/3 of the Shield. And Seth came out there, he was like, okay, I know what you want to talk about. You want to talk about getting the Universal Championship back. Because if it's anybody who deserves a championship shot, it's you, being that you never lost a championship. And he was like, whoa. I don't want to talk about that. I thought I knew you better, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about...
Well, no, before he gets to the Shield part, he said, my only advice to you on getting that title is, good luck.
Yeah. And like Dean Ambrose said a few weeks ago, slay the beast.
Slay the beast. But yeah, he said, he went on this great spiel about, the time we have is limited and healing up fractured relationships.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to put the band back together.
Yeah. And Rollins was just like, well, after what Ambrose did on the night he did it and how he did it, no can do. I put that behind me.
Yeah. But then he's like, well, you know what, Roman, for you, let's do it.
Yep. So Ambrose came out there. He's pacing back and forth on the stage. Out comes Elias and just whacks the fuck.
Potato shots him.
Yeah, just whacks the fuck out of him with the guitar, and they just run after Elias, and he just bails real quick, like right before they even get out of the ring. And so they try to help Ambrose up, and Ambrose just looking at them like, dude, get the fuck off of me. I don't need y'all's help.
And then you just hear Roman, he's like, what's Elias's problem?
Yeah. So then they fade to commercial. We come back to a 6-man tag team match. It was Finn Balor, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman taking on...
The Circle Jerks.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre...
I was going to say the Circle of Jerks, but Circle Jerks works so much better.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, Booty Lashley.
Booty Lashley and his hype man.
Yeah, we'll talk more about him and how he got destroyed.
And Baron Corbin.
Yeah. This match was aight.
It was a fun match, but when it comes down to Baron Corbin, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Bob Lashley, it's hit or miss. Drew McIntyre deserves so much better.
I mean, like we even talked about on the way up here, it's like Drew McIntyre, he's in a league of his own. I mean, not to take away from the other two, it's like Drew McIntyre doesn't need these guys. He's basically a walking, talking Scottish psychopath that can just fuck somebody up.
Licensed to print money.
Right. He can just license to print money and just fuck you up with no problem. Bobby Lashley, he's hit and miss. He has his certain moments with or without his hype man. Baron Corbin, he's underrated as a wrestler, but who gives a fuck about Baron Corbin right now?
Yeah.
But then during the match, and I don't know how the hell I missed this. I had to go back and watch the highlights. It was one spot in the match where Leo got involved.
Yeah, because Finn was trying to do his outside dive, and Leo runs from one side of the ring all the way around, right on cue to like snatch at Finn's foot.
Yeah, and then Braun Strowman came around and literally tackled this small man known as Leo Rush through the barricade.
Well, no, Bob Lashley was about to get hit. He dips out of the way, and Rush eats everything.
Yeah, and I saw a meme like when they were in the trainer's room, like icing him up, and he had like a neck brace on or some shit.
Yeah.
And it says, what's that? It said when you and your brother.
When you and your brother wrestle before mom gets home.
Yeah, when you sit there waiting for your mom to beat your ass when she gets home from work or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because he literally just like got tackled. I mean, he ate every bit of that.
I got worried about Leo Rush for a second there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he wasn't hurt,
Yeah.
but like that was pretty brutal. But in the end, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin won. Afterwards, they laid waste to what was left of Finn Balor. They laid waste to what was left of Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman, and they stood tall.
Yep.
So, whoopee.
Came back from commercial and I think it was Charlie or Dasha, one of them.
Charlie.
Okay, yeah. She was interviewing Heavy Machinery, played them a clip of the loser locker room clowning on them.
Yeah.
Well, except for Hawkins and Ryder. They're just like, hey, we might finally get a win off these guys.
Yeah, because later on it would be a gauntlet match involving Heavy Machinery and the rest of the loser tag team division. Like you mentioned, they were basically going on saying, you know, how they were trash and how the new guys are trying to take our spot, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting here like, I really don't care. Because all of y'all suck.
Next up, we had what was apparently unfinished business between Natalya and Ruby Riott. Needless to say, Natalya won with sharpshooter.
Yeah, and who came out afterwards? Lacey Evans. Or as they call her now, the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans. I literally tweeted this. I'm officially done with Lacey Evans. Because this shit right here, all this catwalking out to the ring and posing and then walking to the back. Because Natalya was just looking like, what?
What exactly was that?
What is that? Like, what the fuck? I just got done whooping somebody's ass. But yeah, this shit right here, it's just...
It kills me because Lacey Evans, well, she hasn't struck me on the mic. In ring, she's really good.
Now, as far as mic skills, like me and a coworker were talking about this, it's like when she talks, it's like she makes one sentence into a whole paragraph because it's like she just drags whatever she says out.
Yeah.
You know, she has like that southern accent where you just gotta drag everything out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I'll eventually get back on the Lacey Evans bandwagon sooner or later, but for right now, I'm done.
Before we get to our next segment, there was a long running joke on there because they announced I don't know the guys' names, but the Weekend Report guys from Saturday Night Live will be special guests.
Colin Jost and the other guy, yeah.
Yeah.
The only time I watch Saturday Night Live is like the opening monologue, the opening credits, and whoever's coming out to host. And whoever, if it's a musical guest, I'll watch for it. Like, other than that, I really don't care about SNL.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon announced that they'd be special correspondents for WrestleMania, and I thought, oh, shit. And they do, like, different bits on Raw, and I'm just like, these guys are not funny.
Again, I don't really care for Weekend Update. I mean, they were basically throughout the whole show trying to get a feel of what it's like to be around superstars. They even took a picture with Titus O'Neil and EC3, I heard.
Well, I guess.
And apparently EC3 is just deader than water right now. Why do they have to put this man on main event?
On Superstars.
Yeah.
Superstars even a thing anymore?
I don't know. Why is main event still a thing?
I mean, loser locker room.
I mean, EC3 is so much better than this, but...
Anyway,
Jesus.
But yeah, the one standout bit from all the Weekend Report bits was where the white guy asks
Braun Strowman
if any of it's real.
Yeah, I saw that, and Strowman basically jacked his ass up against the wall.
Yeah, throttled him until commercial, and then it got broken up after commercial.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that just kind of blurred the line for the rest of the show because our next bit was Triple H addressing Batista. And Batista was supposed to be there, but he's just like, lol, JK, hate Philly, no offense.
Yeah. Now, they're going to be in Pittsburgh next week. He was like, you know, I don't like Philly, no offense. They just booed the fuck out of Batista. He was like, I don't know if I like Pittsburgh, no offense. I might not be there. I don't know. Or he said some shit like,
he also said, but Hunter, it's game on.
Yeah.
See what it did there?
Yeah. He said,
game
we're going to play by my rules. We're going to play by my game. This is, I control this, blah, blah, blah. So Triple H came out there. He talked about Richard Fleer, who we all know in the wrestling world as Ric Flair.
Yeah. He started getting a bit emotional because he said he was there at my wedding. He cracked a joke saying, I wasn't there for all of his weddings, but...
Yeah, because, I've had other commitments and stuff like that, and it's kind of hard trying to balance my schedule and what he wants to do and blah, blah, blah. And he talked about... Oh, not to cut you off.
One of the other things said he was there when he buried his kid.
Yeah, and you could kind of tell he was getting choked up because, Ric Flair's had to deal with a lot of personal stuff. I mean... It's really amazing at the fact that, he's able to see 70. Not many people can say that, but...
he sees 70, but he looks like 90.
Listen, me and my mom had a conversation about this. She was like, he's been 70 since I've been living. And my mom's like, almost 50.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, he's 70. Looks like he's been 70 forever. Looks like he's knocking on 105.
He also talked about... when Ric Flair was in his mini coma.
Yeah.
Where he was waiting by the phone, and every time it went off, he feared for the worst.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's very lucky to still be alive. He said, Rick, I've traveled up and down the roads with this man. And
with Richard
Fleer. I've traveled up and down the road with him. He's one of my best friends. He's lucky to be alive, blah, blah, blah. And, it was real nice. Then he got serious. He said,
not just serious, but he also blurred the line because he said, Dave, you're not facing a character, you're facing the man.
Yeah, well, before that, he was like, basically all you've done, just to paraphrase what he said, you basically quit. When you came back, the crowd didn't give you the reception you wanted. What'd you do? You quit.
When things don't go your way, you quit.
When you didn't get the respect that you thought that you earned, what did you do? You quit. And then he got to what you said, where he said, Triple H, that's the name on the marquee. Everybody knows that. But you're not facing the character. You're facing the man. And everywhere we are, I'm going to be. No matter what building, what city, what state, I'm going to be. I'm going to be there. If you want me to come to your house, I'll be there. You want to come to my house, I'll be there. Movie sets, it don't matter. I'll be here. You want my attention? Dave, you've got my attention. And he slammed the mic down. That was really good.
Just square up. Come on, Dave, square up. Come on. Go take you to school. Gotta go to the gym.
Yeah.
Gonna make you see God. Come on, square up.
Yeah, like I said, they're gonna be in Pittsburgh, and they're supposed to have a face-to-face. He said, basically, we all know what you wanted. You've cried about it online for the last 2 years, so... This was a really good promo. I like this.
It was, but like I said, it blurs the line because, I mean, you've already got Rhonda who just kind of outs kayfabe on her own merit.
Yeah.
Like, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I think she's too heavily invested in it to where she forgets the line.
Yeah, I mean, I saw somewhere WWE is apparently not happy with the language, but it really adds to the storyline of what's going on with her and Becky.
It does.
I mean, I could kind of see, WWE being behind this, like, hey, let's add fuel to the fire, make it look like it's real, but, I mean, we'll talk more about Ronda a little later.
But then, let's see, where was it?
I think Charlotte got interviewed.
She did, but I'm muting Charlotte. Like, I find her annoying right now.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get this out there. Yeah. She basically said, no, it was Stephanie McMahon at first said, Becky's suspension has been lifted unless she signs a...
No, it says she's been lifted, and she will be at WrestleMania unless she doesn't sign a hold harmless agreement.
Yeah.
Or FastLane, that's what it was, FastLane.
FastLane, and at the time... The women's title was vacant, so she announced that it would be Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for the vacant Raw Women's Championship. So, And then Charlotte got interviewed, and she talked about, oh, I'm going to be champion, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk more about them at the end of the show. Next, we had the tag team gauntlet match, Heavy Machinery won. Whoopee.
Yeah. Next, we had Elias versus Dean Ambrose. Elias won. He had a wicked V-trigger when Ambrose was coming off the elbow.
Yeah. And I thought it was really going to knock him loopy, but apparently not because he won with the drift away.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
Rollins and Reigns came out. Rollins and Reigns came out there to try and be like, "Hey, last chance. You want to join us?"
Yeah, and he was like, "No, I'm going up to the crowd." He walked up to the crowd. Out came the other three.
The Circle Jerks.
The Circle Jerks. They were trying to beat down on Rollins and Reigns, and the camera angle just kind of got on my nerves.
Yeah, where they were swapping.
Yeah, because it's like 5 seconds you see him in the ring, 5 seconds you see Ambrose like, what do I do? What do I do? Then he walks down to the crowd, he helps his buddies out, and then the Shield is back together.
What kills me about it is they do the Shield bump, like Rollins and Reigns do it.
Yeah.
And then Ambrose comes over.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like all three at the same time, just...
Yeah, he just puts his fist on the...
Yeah. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I got it, but like, getting back to the Shield thing, it's like, hopefully this Shield reunion will be better than the last few, but I still don't think it's going to have a happy ending because, I saw something where it's like, I saw a post saying, Seth broke the Shield up and turned on them. Ambrose turned on Rollins, and, what about Reigns? What if he does that? Or what if Ambrose turns on them, like he's all babyface again, and he's like with his brothers, but he's like turns on them and says, fuck y'all, I don't need y'all for real. I could see that more than Reigns.
Yeah, more than a Reigns turn, because he just got that babyface pop.
Yeah.
And if we were booking it, there's no way in hell we would go against that, but with WWE, there's some way in hell they're going to go against that.
Yeah, because if they do that, then they'll finally get that heel turn that they've always wanted, that heel heat that they wanted for Reigns, but they'd be crazy to do that.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Like I said, I have this gut feeling that the Shield reunion will not end happily.
But yeah, after that, it was made official at FastLane. We're getting the Shield riding again against the Circle Jerks.
Yeah. Whoopee.
Whoopee.
They also made a match for FastLane. I think they announced this last week. Or
the women's tag title match?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last week.
Yeah. Nia Jax and Tamina, as mainstream would say, will take on Sasha Banks and Bayley. Speaking of Sasha Banks and Bayley, before we talk about this, it was Tamina versus Sasha. The Iconics, they're still calling out the tag champs. They were like, no, this is after SmackDown. They were like, hey, we gave y'all a week. Where you at? Where you at? And it was hilarious. Because they were asking Kayla and Byron, like, have you seen the tag champs? And Byron was like, yeah, they looked pretty good last week. And they were like, get the fuck out of here. It was just funny. Anyway, especially when they did their iconic thing. That shit's too funny.
Anyway, but Tamina got the win, surprisingly.
Whoopee.
Be like the first time in, 20,000 years?
I can't remember the last time she actually had a win. I mean, no disrespect to her.
Like a singles win at that.
That's what I'm saying. No disrespect to her, but that's how much I care. Because I don't...
So, I mean, she's been on the bad booking train ever since she left the Usos.
Yeah, I didn't even write the last part down.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Next up, we had Raw Tag Team titles. The Revival saved me. Taking on Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Now, we'll get to the SmackDown section of 3 Count in a minute, but they did announce a match on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Where it will be a triple threat tag team title match. The Revival, say meh, taking on Rude and Gable, taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Now, why is the Goober tag team in this one? Well, because towards the end of this tag title match, Rude and Gable came out there. They started beating up on the Revival.
Yeah.
Then when they got in face-to-face with Ricochet and Black drove them off.
Yeah, and I did like the little sequence they did.
Yeah, where Ricochet hit superhero pose and Black sat down.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Love it. I even love superhero landing.
Yes. But like we mentioned, it will be the triple threat tag team match. The Revival won by DQ.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rude and Gable. Because they are definitely wanting those straps back. But I don't see them winning that FastLane.
I hope not.
They don't need to. Anyway, we had the ending of Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McMahon came out there with the no harm contract and the Raw Women's Championship. She called out the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, it was awkward because she didn't have a table.
Yeah. And it was also awkward when Charlotte wooed and then Stephanie wooed. I was just like, that's weird.
Now, that's the perfect example of when WWE pipes in crowd effects.
I thought that was actually natural.
No. I'm not saying that like they did it. No, it's just like, sometimes they'll pipe in crowd sound effects.
Yeah.
Despite the camera being on somebody and they're not even saying anything.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah.
So anyway, Becky came out there with her one crutch, and Stephanie was like, look, we got this harmless agreement. You sign this. You can't sue us unless... If anything happens to you on Sunday, you can't sue us. So this is your moment. You versus Charlotte Flair. And then in comes Ronda Rousey. They put on the Titantron. Ronda Rousey looking like she just came from whooping somebody's ass as always.
Yeah.
She walked in. She said, hand me my championship. I want my championship. And then she went on this spiel about, you guys booed me in my hometown at SummerSlam. Wait, they were in Brooklyn, weren't they?
I think so.
I don't know. Anyway, she was like, you guys booed me in my hometown. I come out here, I give it my all, blah, 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 and this is how you treat me? So I tell you what, damn the man, screw the woo, and no more Mrs. Nice Bitch. And she proceeded to almost whoop the hell out of Charlotte, but basically beat the fuck out of Becky.
Yeah, and that would have been a really good spiel, except for Ronda's mic skills are still god-awful, and I heard she rushed it.
Yeah, it sounded like she was kind of skipping over her lines, like stumbling.
Yeah, I get that she had a speech issue early in her life, but
yeah. But getting back to her and Becky, Charlotte Flair tried to come in the ring, and Ronda just looked at her like, "Bitch, you better not, because I'll fuck you up too."
Then camera cut off on Ronda standing tall, but after Raw, Ronda still got her pound of flesh in on Becky.
Well, before that, Stephanie McMahon was being interviewed saying, listen, her actions need to be addressed. They will be talked about next week on Monday Night Raw. And what was crazy was, I was watching this, they showed Ronda with the belt, posing, pointing at the sign as always. They cut off Charlie Caruso, but you could hear Stephanie McMahon laughing, like the mic was still kind of on, like when they immediately cut off the show at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You could hear Stephanie McMahon laughing.
That's creepy.
Like, I guess they told her, like, hey, shut up. We got to go off.
Yeah.
But getting back to off the air, Ronda still beat the fuck out of Becky. She was like, she just kept wailing in her punches, putting on the armbar, and she looked at her and said, tweet this, bitch.
Yeah. Like, Ronda's, like, quickly throwing away what remains of kayfabe.
Yeah.
And it makes her look like an idiot because she's like, calling Becky fake, saying her armbar is fake. We fucking know this.
She even talked about her mugshot, saying how it was fake.
We know this.
So.
Meanwhile, Becky is just driving circles around her as far as verbal and tweet barrage, etc.
Yeah.
Just driving circles around her, and it's great.
Now, I did like what Ronda said, like, when she had the armbar on her, like, when she attacked her on Raw that night.
Yeah.
She said something about, yeah, that's the same armbar like the dick you have in your hand or some shit like that. Yeah. I did like that, though. I mean, she did kind of throw some sizzle on that.
And I think Becky photoshopped a picture of her with an armbar. I think it was like she photoshopped Ronda's husband.
I think it's her husband.
Yeah.
Whatever he is.
I know it set Ronda off.
Yeah. Anyway, like we said, the match at FastLane is official. This is stupid to me. I don't know how you feel, but it's Charlotte versus Becky if Becky wins, then it'll be a triple threat match. I'm just like, she won the Royal Rumble. Isn't this what y'all wanted in the first place? Isn't this what Vince wanted in the first place? A triple threat match when he introduced Charlotte Flair.
You know, when
it's just dumb to me. Like, it makes no sense.
When I first introduced where they could, or what they're doing, using past WrestleMania examples, I did neglect one. WrestleMania 22.
Rey
Mysterio, Orton, and Angle.
Yeah.
And the context was Mysterio won the Rumble, so he got to go to Mania. Orton made him bet his Mania match away.
Yeah.
Ray lost it, and it was Orton Angle, but then Ray got put back in because he was cheated out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the narrative they're doing here.
Yeah, and they kind of threw in Eddie Guerrero because they made it look like Ray. I'm pretty sure he did. They tried to make it look like he did it for Eddie.
Well, that and Randy Orton put out the Eddie's in Hell, bit.
And that's the same thing with WrestleMania 20.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, and Triple H.
Except for that one was more feel good because, despite what we know now about Benoit.
Yeah.
But it's just, Benoit won the Rumble. He was the small guy in the match. He was the WCW guy.
Yeah.
And then he beat two of WWE's top talents.
Yeah. And, both the 20 match was better than the 22 match.
The 20 match was great, and the moment afterwards,
that's
iconic.
Yeah.
22, it's just that match, because all people remember is Ray winning it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But like I said, to me, I don't know how y'all feel out there. It just doesn't. It doesn't make.
It doesn't click.
It doesn't click. It don't make no type of sense. But
what makes more sense is if Becky wins, she's in triple threat.
Right.
If Charlotte loses, she's out.
Yeah. The way I see it is, and we'll get to the Smackdown section after this. If they have Charlotte lose, why not just... They could have just basically done Charlotte, Asuka 2.
Yeah.
And then give us the match that everybody's wanted, Becky versus Ronda. Because Charlotte is an afterthought. Like, it's like Becky, Ronda, Charlotte.
Let's just...
I mean, I'm pretty sure the match would be good either way, but...
Yeah.
But like I said, it's Becky and Ronda, Charlotte.
I feel like Charlotte has been placed in the old Roman Reigns position.
Yeah.
Because while she's not the most favorite, the most crowd favorite, she is the go-to girl for the match.
Yeah.
Because she does have a track record of putting on really good matches.
Yeah, whether you like her or not. I mean, for example, like I said last week, Jim Ross called her the modern-day Hulk Hogan, where she's, like, always in the conversation as far as he goes, stuff like that. But I still call her the modern-day Roman Reigns. Yeah,
because, like I said, she's not the most crowd-endearing, but...
She puts on one hell of a match.
Yeah, have you seen a bad match out of her?
Not that I can remember, no.
Early NXT is all I can give.
Yeah, when she first started out, she was but then as she progressed, she started to get better.
But I will say this, like I said, I have found her annoying, and she's doing her job.
Yeah. Anyway, we move on to SmackDown Live. The new Daniel Bryan addressed his title match against Kevin Owens at FastLane. Or, excuse me, WWE FastLane.
I hate how they have to address it as WWE FastLane. It's not, they don't have to have the WWE part.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, FastLane. Who else is doing FastLane? Nobody else.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, all this went into is Daniel Bryan saying the fans love Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is exactly like them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically fat shaming him.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kevin Owens went out there, said his piece, got in the ring, and basically started throwing hands with Rowan, and throwing hands with
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Take over.
Yeah. Well, I tried to find time to catch the show, but unfortunately I missed it. Anyway, Kevin Owens got in the ring, and like he said, he started jaw jacking with Daniel Bryan. Says,
Okay, I'm back. Anyway, yeah, the segment ended with Rowan popping back up. After he got knocked out of the ring,
yeah,
he popped back up and he just face palmed Kevin Owens, picked him up and just spiked him.
yeah. And basically, they ended up standing tall. Basically, Daniel Bryan is sending a message that come FastLane, I will be standing tall as still the planet's champion. I almost said the people's champion, the planet's champion.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be standing tall as WWE champion. Afterwards, we had The Miz taking on one half of the tag team champions, one half of the Usos, Jey Uso.
This was an alright match.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything spectacular happened.
Yeah. I do know The Miz won. So basically, they're trying to get the upper hand on their match at WWE Fastlane when the Usos take on The Miz and Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon did an exclusive afterwards asking, no, the question was, will his father be proud of him come Fastlane? I still say somebody's turning on the other.
Okay, before they got into the match, the Usos were clowning Miz and Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Miz is boo-hooing, playing the daddy card, the BFF card to all that. Jimmy and Jay, they started clowning Shane, saying, "Oh, I came back just so I can jump off that, jump off that, jump off that. You see that WrestleMania sign? I'm going to jump off that."
Wow.
And Shane walking around here thinking his shoe game is better than ours. And then Uso number 2 is like, well, he does have some really good kicks.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. But like I said, The Miz ended up winning against Jey Uso, so they will be defending the titles.
Yeah, they're defending titles.
Yeah. They will be defending the titles at Fastlane. Next, we had an awesome Fatal 4-Way. Now, R-Truth had an open challenge.
R-Truth came out there, and he basically said, "Oh, I'm going to live up to the standards set by my childhood hero, John Cena, blah, blah, blah." If it was anybody else, it would be just plain stupid.
Yeah.
But it's R-Truth, so it's stupid funny.
Yeah.
So he says, "All right, come on down. Who is it?" Out comes Joe. Then Mysterio. Then Almas.
Yeah.
And while they're announcing the competitors for the Fatal 4-Way, Truth looked like he didn't know what the hell he was doing, because he's just like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be one-on-one. Why is it 4 or why is it 3 of y'all?
Yeah. We ended up having a spectacular match. I heard this match was really, really good.
Oh, it was so good.
And just like you text me last night, Samoa Joe is finally a champion in WWE. Holy shit.
He is United States champion.
I did catch that interview afterwards where he said how people were talking about him never winning a title in WWE.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, everybody talks about John Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect. Just to paraphrase what he said. He said, nope. Anybody's coming for me, anybody coming for the king and my throne, I tell you what, you better lace up your boots, because I'm still going to keep this title. I'm going to do everything I can to keep this title, and you're going to go night-night.
Gonna go night-night.
You're going to go night-night.
Samoa Joe's great. Thank God they finally put a belt on him.
He would be so great. He would be such a great actor.
He would be.
Oh, my God.
Like, he would just be like that like cool guy that just beat your ass for no reason.
Yeah. Next, we had a tag team match. The Bar taking on 1/3 of the triple threat tag team match at Fastlane, Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Yeah, another good match, another high quality match.
Yeah.
I think they Black and Ricochet picked up the win before Rusev and Nakamura got jumped them.
Yeah, I heard the Hardys came down and made the save.
Yeah, took out all of the Bar and Rusev Nakamura.
Yeah. Aleister Black and Ricochet, as you mentioned, did win.
Yeah.
So they're looking to gain some momentum themselves heading into their match on Sunday.
Yeah, because Ricochet hit the 630 on Cesaro.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Next, we had Mandy Rose versus Naomi.
Yeah, this was a quick match.
Yeah.
Naomi won, and then she got beat down. Or no. No, Mandy Rose won.
Yeah, because I heard it was a squash match.
Mandy Rose won. They were walking up the ramp. Turn around, and both Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville got laid out by Asuka.
Yeah, so it looks like their match is still happening now. For those of you who are uninformed, apparently she reportedly got injured Monday, but Asuka said, "I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me."
Yeah.
So it looks like the match is still on go for Sunday. But anyway, next we had Kevin Owens taking on Rowan.
Yeah. This was an alright match. Kevin Owens was he was in prime position to put away Rowan. Okay, that's what it was. He started putting him away. You know, he hit the stunner, and Risey came off the stunner. Daniel Bryan came in the ring, beat him down.
Yeah.
And then Mustafa Ali made the save.
Yeah. I could definitely see him doing a tag team match next week.
Yeah.
Because that would be a pretty good one. Bryan and Rowan, Ali and Owens. So, you know, Kevin Owens did win by disqualification, but Mustafa Ali came down to even the odds.
Yeah.
And then we had all hell breaking loose between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
And once again, Charlotte was out there just gloat. I had the TV muted the entire time until my sexy future ex-wife came out there. Man!
I still got to get that new shirt. I'm getting that shirt.
Me too.
But anyway, Becky come down there, all beat up, all broken down. She wasn't going to let that stop her. They started going at it. She had Charlotte in the armbar, basically.
Well, Charlotte got the upper hand, started beating her down because she was still sore from where Ronda assaulted her.
Yeah.
Becky equalized with the crutch.
Yeah.
Then Becky locked in the armbar, had that locked in for a good while. Like, it took everybody prying her off of Charlotte.
Yeah, and she basically stood tall, saying, "Look, at FastLane, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm getting into that match, and I'm going to win the title." How about that?
Love Becky. Love my sexy future ex-wife.
So that was basically SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. The go-home shows to WWE Fastlane. I still say that rap sucks.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it is. They try too hard.
Anyway, but we will have a preview of Fastlane up this weekend.
Yeah, plus another episode, well, the second half of 3 Count involving the network stuff. So be on the lookout for that, as always.
As for us, if you like what you see here, please hit that big red button to subscribe to this goddamn motherfucking channel.
Yeah.
So you can stay up to date with all of our episodes of 3 Count, Paper Preview, and Paper Review.
Yes, we have, of course, our social medias. We don't use them as much, but you can still follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 3 Count Mafia. So go ahead and hit that follow button.
And if you hate this ugly-ass face but love this opinion, he has a podcast.
Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime on the Castbox app.
Let's see what else.
We have...
our next vintage review is on PWG's Bola 2017.
Did you get the 3rd disc?
Not yet, but payday's coming up.
Okay. So be on the lookout for that. You've got your... Mainstream got his Mainstream report coming up.
Yeah.
On that video game.
He talks about Battle Royale video games.
Yeah. I got a top 10 list coming up. Top 10 teams who need to make a splash in the NFL draft. A lot of talk in the NFL so far. As far as the combine, who's going number 1. As far as I'm concerned, the Arizona Cardinals need to pick somebody more than a quarterback. Of course they need a quarterback, but the big talk is Kyler Murray possibly going to number 1 to the Arizona Cardinals. I'll talk about more about that in the 10. What do you have coming down the pipeline as far as your show?
I have an episode of the 10. I gotta go back and rework the script, but top 10 fantasy matches CM Punk should have if he should return to wrestling.
Yeah. Let's see. Paper, pre, and review next month, leading up to WrestleMania weekend. We have
A triple header.
A triple header. As always, every year, WrestleMania weekend, you know, all the big promotions outside WWE always do stuff. We have NXT TakeOver New York. That's what they're calling it, I guess. We have Ring of Honor and New Japan's first ever G1 Supercard from Madison Square Garden, plus WrestleMania 35 on that Sunday. So we got a lot to discuss as far as WrestleMania weekend goes. Also, as far as other promotions, of course, promotions like Impact are doing stuff. MLW has Battle Riot 2. I do like that concept, though.
Yeah.
The only way to win is, of course, throw your opponent over the top rope. You can also win by pinfall or submission. A 40-man battle royal. The winner does get a shot at the MLW World Title, held currently by Filthy Tom Lawler, who won the first ever Battle Riot last year. So, like I said, I really like that concept. What else?
So far, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we can think of. But if there's nothing else, that's pretty much all we have as far as part 1 of 3 Count goes.
Yeah, that's the show.
Yeah.
So, I'm War Machine MJ.
And I'm Rodimus Prime.
We are the 3 Count Mafia, and we'll see you guys next time.
Pow.